Ever wondered about the roots of Nigeria's rich cultural tapestry? The story begins with the early civilizations that once thrived in what is now Nigeria. The Nok culture, known for their remarkable terracotta sculptures, emerged around 1,500 years before the Common Era. Their artistry reflected a complex society with advanced ironworking technologies. Then there was the Kingdom of Benin, renowned for its intricate bronze and brass plaques, representing a high point in African art. The kingdom was also a significant political entity, demonstrating a sophisticated system of governance. Further north, the Hausa city-states developed, engaging in Trans-Saharan trade and fostering Islamic learning. Lastly, the Kanem Bornu Empire spanned a vast territory, leaving a legacy of political and economic structures. Each of these civilizations contributed uniquely to the arts, commerce, and governance, shaping the multifaceted history of Nigeria. These ancient societies laid the groundwork for the Nigeria we know today. Did you know Nigeria was a melting pot of cultures long before modern nations existed? Indeed, Nigeria was a significant crossroads of the Trans-Saharan trade routes, a network of paths linking West Africa, North Africa, and the Mediterranean world. These routes were not just for the exchange of goods like gold, salt, ivory, and spices. They were arteries of culture, pulsating with ideas, art forms, and religious beliefs that flowed from one society to another. Imagine a merchant from West Africa, his camels laden with gold and kola nuts, traversing the vast Sahara, trading with North African and Mediterranean counterparts, who brought salt, textiles, and written scripts. This vibrant interplay led to the diffusion of Islamic culture into West Africa, influencing local customs, laws, and education. It also spurred economic growth, with cities like Kano and Timbuktu flourishing as major trade hubs. This vibrant exchange of ideas and goods set the stage for future developments in Nigeria. But what happened when Nigeria came under British colonial rule? In the late 19th century, Britain established its colonial administration over Nigeria. This was not a benign process, but one marked by the exploitation of Nigeria's vast natural resources. The British extracted rubber, palm oil, cocoa, and later tin and coal, shipping them off to fuel their own industrial revolution. This extraction wasn't only physical. The British also imposed their cultural norms and systems on Nigeria, including their language, education, and legal systems. They fundamentally altered the social and economic fabric of the country, disrupting traditional systems and causing lasting changes. The creation of artificial borders and the favoritism shown to certain ethnic groups over others sowed the seeds of ethnic tension, which would come to a head in later years. Colonial rule was not without resistance. Nigerians protested, agitated, and fought for their rights, laying the groundwork for the independence movements that would come in the 20th century. Colonial rule left an indelible mark on Nigeria, shaping its future in profound ways. How did Nigeria eventually gain its independence? This question brings us to the era of nationalism and independence movements. In the mid-20th century, Nigeria was bubbling with a strong desire for self-rule. Various nationalist movements began to emerge, each with a unified goal: independence from British rule. The National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, or NCNC, led by Nnamdi Azikiwe, and the Action Group, led by Obafemi Awolowo, were among the notable nationalist movements. These groups played a significant role in agitating for Nigeria's independence, using political strategies and negotiations to push their agenda. The road to independence was not smooth, but the relentless efforts of these nationalists eventually paid off. On October 1st, 1960, Nigeria hoisted its own flag, signaling its newfound sovereignty. The fight for independence was a pivotal chapter in Nigeria's history, setting the course for its future trajectory. What makes Nigeria's cultural landscape so diverse? Imagine a vibrant tapestry of over 250 ethnic groups, each with their own languages, traditions, and ways of life. This is Nigeria. The Hausa Fulani in the north, the Yoruba in the southwest, and the Igbo in the southeast are the most populous, but the nation is also home to numerous other ethnic communities, each adding their unique thread to the national fabric. Yet, this diversity is not without its challenges. Ethnic tensions have historically influenced political representation and resource allocation, with various groups vying for dominance and control. These issues have often led to conflicts and have posed significant hurdles to national unity and development. However, it's crucial to remember that Nigeria's ethnic diversity is also a source of strength. It has fostered a rich and varied cultural heritage, from music and dance to food and fashion, that is celebrated worldwide. Nigeria's ethnic diversity is a source of both strength and challenge, shaping its national identity. But what sparked the tragic Biafran War? Let's delve into this pivotal moment in Nigeria's history. From 1967 to 1970, Nigeria was embroiled in a devastating civil war known as the Biafran War. This conflict erupted following the secessionist movement led by the Igbo people, who declared independence from Nigeria and formed the Republic of Biafra in the eastern region. The central government, unwilling to let a significant part of the country splinter off, responded with military force. The war was brutal and marked by widespread atrocities, leading to a severe humanitarian crisis. Millions of people were displaced, and a significant number perished from starvation, a result of the blockade imposed on Biafra. The war ended in 1970 with the surrender of Biafra, but the scars remain. It serves as a somber reminder of the challenges that ethnic diversity can pose to national unity and stability. The Biafran War was a dark period in Nigeria's history, highlighting the deep-seated ethnic tensions within the country. How did Nigeria navigate through periods of military rule and political instability? Following its independence in 1960, Nigeria entered a troubled era marked by military coups and political instability. The country's nascent democracy was soon overturned by the military, ushering in a series of military regimes that would last for 3 decades. Prominent military leaders such as Yakubu Gowon, Olusegun Obasanjo, and Ibrahim Babangida rose to power during this period. Their administrations were characterized by authoritarian rule, rampant corruption, and human rights abuses. The military's grip on power was maintained through a series of coups and counter-coups, creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Political instability also resulted from regional tensions and the struggle for control of Nigeria's vast oil wealth. Ethnic and religious conflicts further complicated the political scene, often leading to violent clashes and civil unrest. Throughout these turbulent times, Nigerians yearned for freedom and democracy. These tumultuous years shaped Nigeria's political landscape, leading to a long-awaited transition to democracy. How did Nigeria transition from military rule to democratic governance? This is a question that takes us on a journey fraught with struggle and resilience. As we delve into the 1990s, Nigeria was grappling with the formidable task of shifting from years of military rule to democratic governance. A pivotal moment came in 1993 when the nation held elections. However, the promise of a new democratic dawn was abruptly extinguished when these elections were annulled, plunging the country into further uncertainty. Yet the Nigerian spirit remained unbroken. The people's relentless quest for civilian rule bore fruit in 1999. This year marked a significant turning point, as Olusegun Obasanjo, a former military leader himself, was elected president, symbolizing the nation's return to democratic governance. Despite its challenges, Nigeria's transition to democracy marked a new chapter in its history. How has Nigeria's oil wealth influenced its economy and society? Let's delve into this question. The 1970s marked a significant turn in Nigeria's economic narrative with the oil boom. The growth of the oil industry transformed the country into a critical player on the global energy stage. But this newfound wealth wasn't without its challenges. Managing oil wealth is a tricky tightrope. On one hand, it fueled economic growth and development. On the other hand, it created wealth disparities, ingrained corruption, and exacerbated regional inequalities. The downside of a single resource economy became evident, leading to a call for economic diversification. The necessity to diversify from an oil-driven economy is not just a trendy catchphrase, but a crucial step towards sustainable growth. This shift involves developing other sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, and services to create a more balanced and resilient economy. But the road to diversification is fraught with obstacles. The oil boom brought prosperity, but also posed significant challenges for Nigeria's economic development. What are the religious and ethnic conflicts that Nigeria faces today? This is a question that takes us deep into Nigeria's complex social fabric. The country is a melting pot of over 250 ethnic groups, each with its unique languages and customs. However, this diversity has often been a source of tension. The two largest groups, the Muslim-majority Hausa Fulani in the north and the predominantly Christian Igbo and Yoruba in the south, have experienced a long history of conflicts. These tensions often revolve around issues of political power, resource control, and cultural dominance. The situation is further complicated by the rise of militant groups like Boko Haram in the northern region. These groups exploit religious and ethnic divisions, causing violence and instability. While Nigeria has made strides in managing these conflicts, they remain a persistent challenge. Religious and ethnic conflicts continue to pose significant challenges for Nigeria's stability and development. What does the future hold for Nigeria? It's a big question, and the answer lies in the balance of opportunities and challenges the country faces today. On one hand, Nigeria's governance issues present a significant hurdle. Corruption, lack of transparency, and political instability often hinder the nation's progress. But on the other hand, there's an opportunity for reform, for a new kind of leadership that prioritizes integrity and accountability. Security threats, particularly from extremist groups, pose another challenge. But again, there's a flip side. These threats underscore the importance of strengthening Nigeria's security forces and fostering unity among its diverse ethnic groups. Infrastructure development, too, is a double-edged sword. While the need for improved infrastructure is urgent, this also represents a chance for economic growth and job creation. Education and healthcare, though currently under-resourced, hold immense potential for enhancing the well-being of Nigeria's population. Despite its challenges, Nigeria stands at the threshold of a promising future, anchored in its rich history and vibrant culture.